Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. So I'm back on with another daily reading, and there is so much that I want to talk about. But the first thing that I want to say is I feel that I'm speaking to someone who is questioning themselves, who is doubting themselves. And specifically the message that came through is that you're asking, am I on the right path? And yet you've been walking this path for a while. I almost get the sense of a person saying, where's the path? Where's the path? How do I get on the path? Kind of looking back, wondering if they're on the right path. And yet here you are, here you've been, continuing to take that next step forward over and over again. And I have to say that's one of the most beautiful things about your energy that I'm picking up here is that even as you question yourself, even as you doubt yourself, and I'm even hearing someone's guides saying, you're allowed to question yourself all you want. You're allowed to have moments of doubt. But the beautiful thing is you keep taking that next step forward. You don't let the doubts prevent you from continuing to move forward. And I was also picking up that, and this is going to take some explaining, but it's almost as though there's this box trying to pull you back into it. Now, this doesn't have to be just one box. This could be multiple boxes. But when I refer to the box, I'm talking about conventionality, conformity, doing things in a way that other people can really label or understand or feel comfortable with. And I'm getting that someone's been feeling some discomfort lately about being so outside of the box, doing life so differently. But the kind of question that is a bit rhetorical that I felt coming up from your guides is, okay, so if you could take away everyone else's opinions, everyone else's perceptions, let's say that there was no societal norm here or societal standard or no expectations from other people. In fact, let's say everyone around you, everyone you know was on some kind of non-conforming path, a very unique, different path, authentic to them, and there was no standard here. Would you still be feeling this discomfort with your own path, with your own unconventionality? And I got very strongly that the answer here is no. And what this tells me is any discomfort, fear, anxiety that you're feeling, it's not really your own. It's not really authentic to you. This is you empathically picking up on what other people are thinking or feeling, or this artificial concept of a standard of one way to live your life, when of course there is no one way to live your life. And I was also picking up a lot of messages on how when you feel stuck or stagnant, by the way, I am going to be posting something on Instagram about this. So if this is resonating for you, what I'm about to say, feel free to follow my Instagram at Magnetize Yourself as well. I have been posting a lot of in the moment, real-time downloads there recently. But what I was getting is the areas of your life where you feel the most stuck actually are clues to your divine assignments on this planet. Because when you feel really stuck in something, I'm talking like, I have no idea what to do here. I feel like I've been looping here for a long time. I just can't seem to make myself conform to this one thing. I just can't seem to do it. It's most likely because in that exact area of your life, your soul actually has an extremely strong sense of purpose of what it's meant to be doing in that particular area. And you are meant to actually, in that area of your life, experience something massive, something magical, something beautiful, something that most people never get to experience in a lifetime. And that's why it's going to look so different from other people, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're destined for something greater. And in accomplishing that, in aligning with that, you're breaking the mold, not just for yourself, but for others as well. I'm hearing first in a generation, first in a lineage. Like you are going to be the first in your family to do something, to accomplish something. Or for some of you, you already are that person. That's why at first, the bigness of your dreams and your ideas and even just your energy has been triggering for people around you. It's because they could always sense that from a young age, something about you has always been different. But you were actually here to be the mold breaker, to be the generational curse breaker, so to speak. And the thing about this is some of the very people who initially may have questioned your intuition or felt somewhat threatened by your way of thinking or doing things, or it triggered fears within them, some of those very people will have a total change of heart when they see you upon this path, when they see you breaking free of those past patterns, those past molds, those ways of doing things, living life on your own terms. Some of those people will actually become your greatest admirers, whether it's friends, like past friends, family members, people in your life. I'm also just getting that you have a lot of eyes on you, spiritually speaking, right now. It's like a lot of people are looking to you to create some kind of new pattern for how things are going to be, for how humanity is going to progress forward. This is not something to take lightly. And that's also why it's been such a burden for you at times. It has weighed heavily on your soul and on your heart at times. But know that you are a torch bearer. And that's a major reason that you incarnated here on this planet. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say here. And I know that in the last reading, we didn't really pull cards, but I do want to be pulling some cards today. So I want to open up the reading and see what else wants to come through. I got the name Emily for someone. What can I channel for all of the beautiful... Whoa, okay, we have a card right away. The World card reversed. Okay, so something here is left unfinished. And I'm hearing... This isn't over, it's being paused. This is a pause, not a full stop. So for some of you, I'm picking up that this is a person that you have unfinished business with. Yeah, I'm getting the goosebumps that tend to confirm messages for me. So yeah, what I'm getting is someone has pulled back, or there's been some kind of pause here. There could be Libra or Leo energy involved here. But this isn't a full stop. There's this sense of being left hanging by someone, like you've been left hanging by this person. And I'm actually getting that for some of you, this may relate to yesterday's reading. So you may want to check out that reading as well. I am doing daily readings until mid-August for those of you who are new here. So I feel that for many of you, because I know many of you were manifesting more messages about the person and situation we talked about yesterday. And I feel that person coming up here again. I'm hearing they're paused, but they're very focused on you. Like they've dropped the line physically, or like dropped the ball physically, or something of that nature. Something has been dropped or let go on the surface, but they're very much holding on still energetically. I'm also saying that it's funny. I kept hearing all day that if someone doesn't want to be found, you're not going to find them. And I meant this in like a quantum way, in terms of timelines, in terms of energy. So what I'm getting is someone doesn't want to be found right now. And what I mean by that is there's someone who is energetically avoiding you, and that may be showing up physically in the way that you may feel as though communication has been off with this person, or maybe there's been no communication, or even if you've been places where you used to run into this person or connect with them, it's like they're not there. Yeah, this is because this is someone who is in this state of not wanting to connect physically right now, not wanting, quote unquote, to be found. But the reason is because they're in this period of rest and regrouping. Again, this is a pause, not a full stop. And I'm also hearing in this pause is a kind of preparation on this person's end as well. So let's pull some more cards for this. I'm actually going to get some of my love oracle decks. So What is this person thinking? I really keep getting that word regrouping, like they're regrouping themselves. I wish you were here with me. Yeah, it's strange. This person, they are intentionally avoiding connecting with you, avoiding running into you, avoiding seeing you, and yet their heart is longing to be with you. We also have the card, I'm in love with you. Yeah, this person's very much focused on you energetically, even as they're keeping their distance physically. We also have, I need to tell you the truth. So I feel as though this regrouping period that this person has been in, this pause, so to speak, is where they're actually preparing to open up some kind of truth. And I'm hearing they've realized this connection can move no further forward without them opening up on a more authentic level, without them sharing more truth. And, I don't know if this relates to this particular person for you or if it's another group I'm speaking to or another energy, but all of a sudden it popped into my head that when I was journaling downloads today during my meditation, I journaled that there's someone who wants to rush intimacy with you, but they're not going through the proper channels. And that kept recurring in my journaling exercises. Like someone wants to be closer with you. And when I say intimacy, this could be physical, mental, emotional, like they're trying to progress things forward with you without going through the proper channels. It's like they're trying to bypass something that needs to be done or needs to be said, and yet create some feeling of closeness with you or intimacy. Now, this could be a friend, a family member, or a romantic person. Take it how it connects for you. But I'm hearing that they aren't used to being blocked by the divine, and these walls are going up around you. It's like I literally heard your spirit team saying, nuh-uh, this person is not going to have that level of closeness with you if they're not willing to do this first. Now, what that other thing is they have to do first is going to look different from person to person. For many of them, it's them looking at themselves, taking accountability for themselves in some kind of way. And I also heard the line, you're going to make me wait, aren't you? And it felt like that was coming from this person. And it felt like this could have multiple different meanings depending on your situation. But I feel this is someone who tried to move forward or rush forward with you very quickly initially because they were treating this situation just like every other like friendship or romantic situation or person in their life. And now it's like those divine walls have gone up and this person is like, whoa, you're different. This is different. I am not going to be able to go through those same typical channels. I'm not going to use those same tactics and get the same result here. And so it's almost like they were moving really, really fast with you. They may have been texting you or calling you or trying to meet up or just very communicative. And then I feel all of a sudden things went silent on their end or they completely pulled back. And this isn't a lack of interest. It's them realizing that their initial strategy isn't going to work. It's them energetically sensing those walls of divine protectedness that have gone up around you because of the rare spiritual being that you are. And it's also them realizing the price of connecting with you. And it really reminds me of a metaphor that I remember talking about in a previous reading where it's almost like you are this person's dream car or like a dream thing that they want to buy symbolically. But often someone can have, like, for example, their dream car and not have the money to afford it. That doesn't make it any less their dream car that they're not going out and getting it. They just are realizing the price of attaining it and maybe even sustaining it if something requires like a level of maintenance here. So I feel that you've entered dream person territory for whoever this is, meaning in their mind, you are not like all of the other connections that they could just rush forward with. You've now in their mind, it's like it clicked with them. It finally registered to them. Wait a second. This isn't like all the others. I have to tell you, this is a person who's been running from themselves, and they tend to use connection with other people to bypass self-reflection. Unfortunately, connecting with someone as rare and spiritually awakened as you is the exact opposite of what this person has been typically seeking, those quick highs out of connection. Because unfortunately with you, unfortunately for them in their kind of egoic state here, you are someone who actually points people more deeply within themselves. And the more someone gets closer to you, the deeper they have to go in their own spirit, the more they have to peel back the layers and get closer to that authentic core self within them. And if they stop being willing to open up to themselves in that way, to go deeper within themselves, they will naturally feel disconnected or be disconnected from you. And on, of course, your side of things, this can feel complicating at times because people can just drop out of your reality after you felt so close with them. And I feel you've come to this point where you just recognize this, where you know how this goes. You know, I feel you sense this psychically. Even the moment you meet someone, you're like, you know, internally, they're going to want to connect with you, or if it's romantic, they're going to fall for you. They're going to feel this attraction, but then it's almost like you can read them. Not almost, you really can read their energy, and you register that they are also going to not possibly be willing to go on that journey within themselves, and they're going to disconnect from you. Now, I feel that sometimes you do still choose to play out these connections because you've recognized that, and I feel this has been a major, major breakthrough realization on your journey. You've recognized that even though you can sense futuristic timeline potentials with people that you are meeting, that doesn't discount their value in your life for that period of time. This has been one of the most challenging things I feel you've really, I would say, learned, but it's deeper than that. It's almost like a truth you've actually integrated, like within your spirit. You've incorporated it in the very fabric of your being. And it's that, yes, you are very psychic. You're very intuitive. You're able to predict uncannily how things are going to go, how people are likely to react to you, how maybe that timeline with them is ultimately going to be a dead end. And yet, I feel what you're learning to balance here. It's like, you know that on the one hand, but on the other hand, you're learning how to be able to immerse in and enjoy this physical human experience and all that it has to offer regardless. And that includes those kinds of connections that sometimes don't always turn into long-term, forever people in your life, whether it's a friend or a romantic person. You're learning the value in allowing yourself to immerse in and experience a connection through the present moment without needing to fixate on how you psychically sense it's going to go into the future, even though those psychic senses are very often, if not always, accurate in your experience. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting a few different energies here. For some of you, this could be the same person. For others of you, this is different people. But I am definitely getting that person trying to rush intimacy with you and then pulling back once they realize, wait a second, those tactics aren't going to work. And it's almost like right now they're in this state of re-strategizing. Am I going to change my strategy and move forward? Am I willing to pay the price of moving forward with this person, or am I going to let this go? Because I'm hearing that connecting with you, it's a transformative roller coaster. No one can connect with you long term if they are not or have not gone through a spiritual awakening or are not peeling back the layers and introspecting and going deeper within themselves. I feel no one who isn't a person who isn't doing that can't really seem to sustain a super close physical connection with you where you're interacting super consistently because, again, your energy, it's constantly pushing people inward. And if someone is resisting that, they're naturally going to resist and repel you. And then, as we've discovered, sometimes project that disconnect onto you. Meaning they'll feel like you are pulling away or you're being distant or whatever, not realizing that they are being energetically repelled away from you or repelling you away from them because they are not doing the work. They are not taking that. It's like you're pointing them inward and they're resisting going within. And then your intuition is like giving you the guidance to disconnect or to pull away. And you may not even know why consciously, but subconsciously, you're sensing this person's level of connectedness to themselves, or the opposite, how they're running from themselves. Yeah. So there's a person here who tried to rush intimacy with you like they do with other people or have with other people in the past. And they do this as kind of like a band-aid where they don't have to fully introspect internally. This is someone who's been running from themselves, and their connection with you was the divine stepping in and saying, okay, to this person, if you're really ready to face yourself, to level up. I feel recently they may have started some journey of self-development, or they may have started trying to better themselves. I'm hearing someone say, I want to be a better man, or I want to be a better woman. They may have even said this to you verbatim. And it's almost like the universe answered that prayer and said, okay, you want to be a better man. You want to be a better woman. I am going to send you an awakened soul. I'm going to send you this person who's been on this journey, who's going to point you within yourself. Are you ready to handle that? And they're now in that space of kind of being knocked off their feet by your divine energy. And they're like, am I ready to handle this? That's kind of what I feel them questioning within yourself, because they've realized the levity of your energy. I think that's the right word. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't used that word, I don't think, in a reading before, so I'm going to double check on that. Let's look this up. Oh, it's the opposite. Levity means lightness. Interesting. Yeah, so it's almost like, let's see what the opposite, if there's an opposite similar word, like the weight of this is what they're realizing. Gravity. Okay, so they're realizing the gravity of this connection, but they treated you with levity. That's really what I'm picking up on here. I'm getting the word sobriety as well. So, I mean, for some of them, this could be literal. Maybe they've been on a sober journey, but I'm getting that for others of them, something about your energy metaphorically sobered them up in an instant. Like you just woke them up, almost like an alarm clock. And it's almost like they're in that, you know, when you're waking up and you're kind of in that in-between state where you could either choose to go back to sleep, or you could kind of make yourself actually get out of bed. And that's where I feel like they are spiritually. They're in between being spiritually asleep and spiritually awake. And you put them in that in-between space, but you can't fully wake them up. They have to decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to push myself to get up. I'm ready to be awake. Or they will choose to drift back into a sleep kind of indefinitely until they wake up spiritually at some kind of later date, at which point they will then most likely regret that they didn't spiritually wake up when they connected with you, because they will miss you and wonder about you and all of those things. And many of you have been through these kinds of familiar cycles in your connections. So I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. But I am just so curious to know a bit more about this person. I do feel that for some of you, we're dealing with two different energies or two different people. Again, not for everyone, but for some of you, I feel there's this person trying to rush intimacy and then feeling those divine walls of protectedness go up around you. And there's also this other person who has dropped out of your timeline temporarily, and they're resting and regrouping, but feeling really strong emotion about you. And there's still this unfinished business with this person. And there's this truth that wants to come forward through them. So I'm going to see if I can get any messages about either of these situations. Yeah, someone here is resisting the inevitable tower moment that's going to happen in their own life, in their own being, as they continue connecting with you. There's also someone here realizing that with the Seven of Cups in the upright position, you are someone who is very rare and desirable. Now, the interesting thing is, I feel that there's someone here who thought that your magnetism was purely either related to your appearance or something physical. Maybe you have like some kind of status, or again, like something material, something physical, something about you. It's almost like they chalked up your magnetism to being something that they could kind of consciously pinned down. But now they're realizing your magnetic energy goes so much deeper than that, that you are someone who transforms people spiritually, is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing not just once in a lifetime, but a once in multiple lifetimes kind of person. Like you could go a whole lifetime without meeting someone like you. Yeah, you are the Empress here with the Empress card. And I'm hearing, what have I done? I almost feel like someone's in regret that they didn't realize this instantly or when they first met you, because I'm hearing, I wouldn't have treated the situation with levity, to use our word from earlier. I wouldn't have treated it so lightly if I knew the gravity of it, if I knew that you were this Empress, you were this Queen of Wands. I'm also getting someone underestimated your confidence because of your softness. So you are someone who carries this soft, gentle energy because of being so open-hearted. But the thing is, you have this confidence about you that is unshakable, that runs to the very core of who you are. And I feel someone almost tried to either like manipulate you or to, I'm hearing, not to prey on you in some way. I mean, maybe in some cases, it doesn't really feel that malicious for most of them. But again, I just get the sense someone tried to rush forward closeness with you, assuming that you were less confident or less self-assured and would just kind of rush into that along with them. But instead, you carried yourself with grace and confidence and poise, and it totally stunned this person. Now, ironically, it actually made them more attracted to you as well, but it shocked them at the same time. And they're realizing that they can't keep connecting with you without it entirely transforming their entire life. Now, ironically, this is something this person has been praying for. It's something that they've been manifesting in. And yet now that it's here, they're somewhat terrified. I actually feel that they've been asking to meet someone like you. Like, I feel this person literally prayed to their higher power, whether it's God, the universe, whatever they connect with. And they said, I've been on this path of bettering myself. I'm ready to meet my person. I'm ready to meet a man or a woman who can meet me where I'm at, who can be part of this journey with me. But then suddenly they connected with you, and it's almost like, wait a second, am I ready for this? It's like I wasn't expecting to get an answer to my prayers so quickly. And in this way, it's like it almost caught this person off guard to have their prayers so specifically and perfectly answered in the form of you, but also because of what that answered prayer is going to require out of them, because it doesn't come without a price. This isn't something where like they can just have what they want out of a connection or relationship without having the level of accountability to their own journey of self-growth within themselves. And I feel like a part of them is just absolutely terrified by that and yet drawn in even closer. I'm also hearing no one has ever affected me this way. So I'm very strongly getting from this person that they've never met someone who has both, who has softness and gentleness in the way that you do, with extremely strong boundaries and this fierce kind of confidence. And I'm hearing only someone who walked through the fire themselves could behave in this manner, could carry this kind of fire in their energy, in their own eyes. And again, I just keep feeling they are terrified and absolutely knocked off their feet by you simultaneously. So wow, this is quite a reading. I have really enjoyed doing this reading. I am going to go ahead and wrap it up here, but I hope something here connected with you. If so, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And of course, would love to have you subscribed here on the channel as well if you feel guided to do so. Otherwise, thank you for being here. Thank you for co-creating along with me. I love you all so much. I'm sure this isn't the last that we've heard from this person. I feel like this is a thread of energy that's going to continue. So stay tuned for more updates on this situation and energy. Have a beautiful day and start to your week. And I will connect with all of you here again in the next video.